All right, guys. So today we're talking about how to book more service calls with Google Ads for your HVAC business. So probably many of you have heard about Google Ads and what they do, right? Well, they're actually a really great way for you to generate leads for your HVAC business. So when we're talking about Google Ads, we're talking about precise searches for your services in your area showing up and you showing up for those searches, right? So we're talking about people going on Google looking for HVAC repair near me, HVAC installation, HVAC company near me, right? And you want to be able to show up for those searches. Well, Google's giving you that option. And Google is saying, well, if you pay me, we'll be able to put you up there for these different keywords, and you'll be able to create your own campaigns and be able to show up for these potential clients that are looking for your service in your area. So let's talk a little bit about how Google Ads actually works, right? So what happens here is that you have an interface that Google gives you. Within that interface, you go ahead and create a campaign. Once you create that campaign and the keywords that you want and so forth, you'll be able to show up for these different searches. And so what Google does is they say, well, okay, you want to show up for those searches. You'll be bidding against your competitors, right? And you'll be able to show up for these different searches. Now, how that looks like is you're going to be showing up at the top of the page or at the bottom, depending on how the bidding goes and how Google decides who wins that bid. You're going to be showing up with a tag at the top that says sponsored, and people can click on it. Once people click on it, that's where you get charged. That's why it's called a pay-per-click. So every time someone clicks on your ad and then lands on your website, well, that is going to cost you money, depending on where you are, depending on the keyword, depending on the bid. That varies, right? What we call the cost per click. Now, what you want to do in terms of best practices to be able to not only show up as much as possible, but be able to really convert all these people that are clicking on your ad. The best practices for Google Ads is definitely going to be doing a keyword research. You want to make sure that you're bidding for the right keywords, but also not necessarily always the most expensive keywords. You want to be able to say, okay, well, I can have a keyword like HVAC company near me, which is probably going to be very popular and a lot of your competitors are going to be using. And so you want to be able to still show up for that, but not only have that keyword and use other keywords that are going to be a little bit cheaper and are still going to give you great traffic and great visibility for people that are looking for your services. The other thing you want to do is make sure that you have a strategic location. So if you only service 10 miles around your office, right? You want to make sure that you input that and not the whole city, because if you have people that are looking for your services where you're not actually going to go out and do that service, or it's costing you too much to go out there and that's not interesting to you, well, you need to make sure that you have the right location in place where you want to be able to service these potential leads, right? Because if you don't, then you're just going to be wasting money with people that are looking for you in an area where you don't really even want to go. The next thing is going to be strong ad copies. You have, like I said, a lot of your competitors are going to be using Google Ads and they're going to have the ads up there. So what is going to differentiate you from your competitors for the potential client? What is going to make them click on the ad and say, well, this is the one I want to see what they have more to offer and see if they can do the job that I need, if they can repair my AC, right? The other thing that you want to do is also have a high converting landing page with relevant keywords. Relevancy is extremely important for Google. So if you don't have the keywords on your landing page that are in your ad copies and what you're trying to show for, well, Google's not going to like that so much. And they're not going to show you as much as some of your competitors. So you want to make sure that you have that. And you also have, you're paying for every click, every person, every visitor that's coming onto your website. Well, you want to make sure that you convert as many of them. And you are going to be able to do that through a conversion optimized landing page, where you're going to have the exact call to action in place for them to do exactly what you want them to do. Right? So 3 main options that we talked about before, which is either call you, schedule an appointment with you right then and there, right? Or contact you through a contact form or a chatbot. Those are the three main things you want them to do, and you want to gear your visitors to do that because you're paying for that visitor. You want to make sure that you squeeze everything out of it and you make sure that you get a good return on your investment there. Right? Google Ads is something that has become very competitive. A lot of people utilize it. A lot of people in the HVAC and plumbing industry utilize it because it's a good way to get leads, and these leads are going to be really relevant if you have some good campaigns and if you know what you're doing with Google Ads. Now, you're going to have a decent budget to be able to be competitive in Google Ads. You can dish out $100 a month and run Google Ads, and you're still going to show, and you might get some traffic and maybe a call here or there. But to really get a good return on your investment, you're going to have to put a decent amount of budget in there for you to be able to not only show, but also get a good volume of calls coming in or people booking your service for you to then actually make a return on the Google Ads. In terms of the landing page, right? So a lot of people come to me and they say, okay, well, I have a website. Can we just run the ads to the website or should we create a landing page? You can always run the ads to your website. It can work, but usually what we tend to see and what works the best is going to be a high converting landing page. The reason for that is really going to be, well, through a landing page, it's just going to be one page. And you're not going to have your visitor that you're paying for going through all your website, reading everything, and being distracted from what you really want them to do, right? On a landing page, what you can do is really just have minimal information, just the information that is needed for them to look at you and say, well, okay, this looks like a trustworthy company. They have some good reviews there. They're easy to contact. Let me give them a call and see what their pricing is. Or let me book right away with them and see how I can do that instead of really just going through the whole website. So that's really important. And that's what we've seen that works the best in terms of with Google Ads is really having a dedicated, high converting landing page for that. Right. So there's a lot of things that go into Google Ads, and it's a great tool. If you have the budget for the marketing, it is definitely a great tool and something that I always tell my clients that they should utilize, even if they're doing SEO or any kind of other marketing. This is a great way to be able to get some precise and qualified leads coming in. Google Ads, it essentially is a funnel, right? Because you have not only people that are looking for your services, but once they're looking for your precise service, they're clicking on your ad. Now, once they're on your ad, right, and they like what they see on the landing page, well, they're going to call you. So right then and there, you're just making sure you're funneling the right type of client to give you a call. And that's really important because you don't want to be paying for clients that are not your potential clients, or not clients that you're looking to do business with, right? And so that's really important, but that comes down to how your campaign is done, how you're going to be able to, what type of campaigns you're going to be running, right? Testing, you can test with the different landing page set up differently. You have to test within the campaigns, the different types of campaigns. You have to test different keywords, different ad copies. So there's a lot that goes into Google Ads, but if done properly, it can really work. And that's something at Clutch Growth that we can help you out with. We have a team of Google Ads manager that take care of all of that. And you can give us a call. I'll put the number right below, and you can go ahead and give us a call. We can give you some pointers in seeing how your Google Ads campaigns are performing right now. We can help you out with that. We can also manage them for you. So just give us a call and we'd be glad to chat with you and see how we can help you. All right. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Until the next time, guys, have a good one.